The year was 2475. Earth was no longer the home it used to be. Cities were in ruins. Oceans were polluted and people fought over food and water. Humans had traveled to the stars long ago, building colonies on distant planets. But humanity's history of violence followed them. Wars with alien races, broken treaties, and reckless experiments in space made the United Stellar Council angry. Captain Eli Grant stood on the marble floor of the council hall on Aeloria, the council's capital. He was tall, with short brown hair and calm green eyes. His uniform was neat but worn from long journeys. Around him, creatures of all shapes and colors filled the hall, watching silently. Some had scales, some had feathers, some had shining eyes. The council was ready to speak. "Humans," a tall, blue-skinned alien said, its voice low and harsh. "Your species has caused too much trouble in our space. Your colonies ignored our rules. Your fleets attacked without reason. The council has decided you will leave all known systems. You are banned forever." Eli's heart sank. He had expected anger, maybe even punishment. But this was worse. Total exile. Humanity would have no home in the galaxy. No worlds, no cities, no place to live safely. "Please," Eli said, his voice steady but urgent. "We can change. We can work with you. We can prove we are different now." The council shook its heads. "It is too late. Your people are too dangerous. Take your ships and leave our borders. If you return, you will be destroyed." Eli swallowed hard. He knew he had no choice. He turned to his crew, who had followed him here. Nora Blake, the engineer, was fixing the sleeve of her uniform with nervous fingers. She was small, with dark hair and quick hands. Marcus Hale, the pilot, leaned against the wall, arms crossed, trying not to show fear. Dr. Leia Ortiz, the youngest member, stood straight, her tablet clutched to her chest. She was quiet but clever, always thinking of solutions no one else could see. "We leave tonight," Eli said. "We follow the stars beyond the council's reach. We survive. No one else can do it for us." "This is our last chance," the crew nodded. They knew the risk. Beyond the council's borders, there were no charts, no maps, and no friendly worlds. They were leaving everything they had ever known. As they walked to the hangar, Eli looked back at the council hall. He saw the council members whispering among themselves, eyes cold. He hated them for this, but he hated more what humans had done to deserve it. Still, he refused to feel hopeless. Humanity had survived worse before, and they could do it again. Their ship, the Aurora Dawn, was large and strong. It had survived pirate attacks, asteroid storms, and radiation fields. It carried enough supplies for a year if rationed carefully. 12 other ships followed, smaller but well-equipped. This fleet was all that remained of humanity in known space. Eli gathered the crew in the command room. "This is our home now," he said, pointing to the viewport showing the stars. "They say we have no home, but we do. It is the stars themselves. We have each other, and that is enough to start again. We will find a place to live, even if we must build it ourselves." Nora smiled faintly. "I hope we find something before supplies run out." "We will," Eli said. "We have to." They entered hyperspace, leaving the council's systems behind. The stars stretched into long lines of light as the Aurora Dawn led the fleet into the unknown. Silence fell over the bridge. The crew watched the streaking lights, each lost in thought. Days passed. The fleet traveled without incident. But the empty space made people nervous. Humans were explorers, but not all humans were strong in spirit. Fear crept into the hearts of some crew members. Arguments started over food rations and sleeping schedules. Eli worked to keep everyone focused. He spent long hours in the command room, studying star maps and planning their next jump. One night, as Eli watched the stars, Leah approached him. "Captain," she said softly, "I have been studying the reports of old colonies. Some say humans lived in a system far beyond the council's reach, but it was abandoned long ago." Eli looked at her. "You think it's a place we could go?" "Maybe," Leah said. "It is uncharted. It might have resources or even technology left behind. It is a risk, but all our options are risks now." Eli nodded. "Prepare a small team. We will investigate it when we get there. But everyone must be ready for anything." The weeks turned into months. The Aurora Dawn led the fleet through starfields, nebulae, and asteroid belts. The crew learned to trust each other more deeply. Nora kept the engines running perfectly, repairing problems before they became disasters. Marcus flew through meteor storms with skill and bravery. Leah studied every new planet and star they passed, searching for life or signs of ancient civilizations. One day, sensors detected a signal. It was weak, almost like a whisper in the dark. Eli gathered his team. "Nora, can you boost it?" Nora nodded and worked at her console. The signal grew stronger. It came from a planet in a dead system, a place with no sun and no signs of life from space. The surface was gray and cold. Yet the signal was artificial. It had intelligence behind it. This could be our chance, Eli said. We have to see what is there. The fleet approached the planet cautiously. Marcus piloted the Aurora Dawn down through the thin atmosphere. The cold wind of the planet scratched the hull, but the ship was steady. On the surface, the crew saw ruins, broken towers, walls, and strange machines half buried in dust. Nothing moved, but the architecture was eerily familiar. It reminded them of old human cities. Eli felt a shiver run down his spine. This looks like something humans built, he said. Long ago, but human. Leah was already scanning the ruins. The signal is coming from those structures. It looks like a power source dormant for thousands of years. If we can activate it, we might have energy, maybe more. Nora smiled. And maybe something else we didn't expect. Eli sent teams to explore. They found corridors, empty rooms, and machines covered in dust. Everything was quiet. But as Leah worked with her tablet, the machines started to hum. Lights flickered and the air felt electric. One of the devices, a sphere in the center of a plaza, opened slowly. It's communicating, Leah said, eyes wide. It knows we are here. It recognizes us. Eli stepped forward. What does it mean? I don't know yet, Leah said. But it is sending a message. It calls humans the returning children. Eli looked around. Could it be? Had humans been here before? A colony lost in time? He felt hope rise in his chest. Maybe they were not alone. Maybe humanity had a second chance. But before anyone could celebrate, Marcus shouted, Movement! Something is attacking. Small defense drones, long inactive, had activated and were firing at the landing site. Dust and sparks flew as the crew dodged. Nora ran to the control panels, trying to shut them down. Leah worked frantically, reading alien scripts on the devices. Eli grabbed a weapon and ran to protect them. The fight was short but dangerous. One drone tried to crush Marcus with a mechanical arm. Leah pushed him out of the way just in time, and Nora sent an energy pulse through the main console. The drones froze, then collapsed. Silence returned. Eli breathed heavily. Is everyone okay? They all nodded. The machines were quiet again. The signal continued, pulsing softly like a heartbeat. It felt alive. This is our new beginning, Eli said. We will use this planet, this technology, and this chance to rebuild. Humanity will survive. They can banish us, they can try to destroy us, but we will not give up. We are human. We adapt, we fight. We endure. We go on. The crew looked at him and a small smile appeared on their faces. For the first time in months, they felt hope. The stars outside the broken windows of the ruins seemed brighter. Maybe, just maybe, humanity had found a place to start again. Eli knew the journey was only beginning. Beyond these stars, the Council would not forgive and danger would follow. But for now, humanity had survived exile. For now, they had each other, and that was enough to keep going. The Aurora Dawn and its fleet settled on the surface. They began repairing the land, setting up shelters and studying the machines. Every day brought new discoveries, new hope, new reason to believe that even when the galaxy says go home, humans will make their own home, no matter where the stars take them. And so, humanity's last plea began, a silent promise whispered across the universe. We will survive. We will live. We will return. Part 2. The dark frontier. After landing on the strange gray planet, the crew of the Aurora Dawn began exploring the ruins. The sky was dark and the wind carried a chill that made every step feel heavier. Dust rose from the cracked ground as they moved cautiously through broken streets and collapsed towers. The planet was silent except for the low hum of the ancient machines. Eli Grant led the team. He felt a mixture of awe and unease. The ruins looked like humans had once lived here, but there were no records anywhere of this place. Nora Blake followed close behind, her hands busy taking readings and repairing small devices they found along the way. She had a quick mind and steady hands, and she worked faster than anyone else could. Look at this, Nora said, pointing to a half-buried structure. These walls are made of a material I've never seen. It's strong but lightweight. If we can figure out how to use it, it could help rebuild our ships. Eli nodded. Good, mark everything. We will need every advantage if we are going to survive out here. Dr. Leah Ortiz studied the strange machines in the plaza. She was amazed. The technology was far older than anything humans had today, but somehow familiar. Circuits glowed faintly under the dust and strange symbols appeared on her tablet as she scanned them. This system is more advanced than anything I've ever seen, Leah said. It seems automated. It knows we are here. The moment we arrived, it started activating itself. Eli frowned. Does it recognize us as humans? Leah nodded slowly. Yes. It calls us the returning children. I don't understand how, but it is designed for human use. Maybe our ancestors left it behind. Marcus Hale, the pilot, wandered near the edge of the ruins. He was tall and strong, with quick reflexes and a cautious nature. He examined the horizon, scanning for danger. Suddenly, a shadow moved across the ground. "Captain," Marcus shouted. "Something's out there." Eli rushed over, weapon ready. They all saw it. Small machines, like drones, hidden in the dust. They began moving toward the crew, arms and tools extended. The machines were old but still functional, and they did not look friendly. "They're defensive systems," Leah said, typing on her tablet. "They must protect something here. We need to be careful." Eli raised his hand. "Stay calm. Nora, see if you can disable them without destroying them. Marcus, cover her. Leah, help." The team worked together. Nora sent a pulse through the nearest drone, short-circuiting its systems. Marcus moved quickly, blocking other drones with his body and using makeshift shields from broken panels. Leah tapped the ancient controls, sending signals that confused the machines. After tense minutes, all drones powered down. The crew breathed heavily, relief washing over them. "Good work," Eli said. "We are not enemies. We are explorers. We need their technology, not a fight." As they moved further into the ruins, Leah discovered a building partially buried in dust and rock. The doors were large and engraved with symbols she did not recognize. She approached and touched the carvings. A low hum filled the room, and the doors opened slowly. Inside, the chamber was vast and dark. Pillars lined the walls, and machines hummed quietly in the corners. At the center, a large energy core glowed with blue light. The air was thick with electricity, and the temperature was warmer than outside. Eli stepped forward carefully. This must be the source of the signal. It is alive. Leah scanned the energy core. It is a power source, but also a data hub. It contains information about this planet and its history. If we can access it, we might learn what happened here and how to use this technology. Nora worked on the interface, connecting her portable devices to the ancient systems. Sparks flew and the lights in the chamber flickered. The machines seemed to wake fully, responding to human touch. Data streams appeared on Leah's tablet. Images, maps, and records filled the screen. Eli watched closely. "What does it say?" Leah studied the data. "Humans lived here long ago. These were our ancestors. They explored the stars and settled this world. But they vanished for reasons we do not know. They left technology behind, hoping that one day returning humans would find it." Eli felt hope rise. "So we are not alone. Humanity has survived before, and maybe we can survive again." As they continued exploring, the team discovered a room filled with star charts and maps of nearby systems. Some were familiar, others unknown. Leah traced a path on one of the maps. There are other planets out here. Planets that could support life. If we can reach them, we could rebuild colonies. "We have options," Nora added. "And this material we found could help us build stronger ships. We could travel farther than ever before." Eli smiled faintly. "Then that is what we will do. We will use this planet as our base. We will study the technology, repair our ships, and prepare for the journey ahead." But their work did not go unnoticed. Outside, sensors detected a vessel approaching fast. Eli looked at the screens. "Alien ship. It is Council." "They found us," Marcus cursed under his breath. "They are not friendly. They will demand we leave. If we resist, they will attack." Eli clenched his fists. "We have come too far to run now. We will defend this place. Humanity will not be chased away from our own history." The alien vessel landed nearby. A group of aliens emerged, led by a tall figure in silver armor. Eli recognized the uniform. It belonged to the Valari, one of the Council's most feared races. The leader's eyes glowed faintly, scanning the humans. "Humans," the Valari said, voice like grinding metal. "You are not allowed to be here. Leave this system immediately. Your presence violates Council law." Eli stepped forward. "We are not leaving. This planet belonged to our ancestors. It is human. We have a right to be here." The Valari laughed, a cold, cruel sound. "You are exiles. You have no rights. Leave or be destroyed." Eli looked at his crew. Nora, Leah, and Marcus nodded. They were ready. The Valari underestimated humans. They did not understand human courage or ingenuity. "We will not fight unless we have to," Eli said. "But we will not abandon this place. Humanity will survive. We will not be erased." The Valari raised a weapon. A beam of energy shot toward the Aurora Dawn, hitting the ground and sending dust and rocks flying. The humans fired back using makeshift shields and their own energy weapons. The drones from the planet activated again, this time under human control, and helped defend the team. The battle was tense. The Valari were stronger, faster, and better armed. But the humans had something the aliens could not predict: creativity. Nora rigged energy conduits to overload and confuse enemy systems. Marcus flew drones in tricky patterns to block attacks. Leah hacked into the Valari sensors, feeding false information. Eli coordinated every move with calm determination. After hours of fighting, the Valari ship retreated, damaged but not destroyed. Eli watched it leave, breathing heavily. "We bought time," he said. "But they will return. We must be ready." The team began repairs immediately. Nora worked on the Aurora Dawn and other ships, using the ancient materials to strengthen engines and shields. Leah continued studying the planet's technology, learning new ways to power their fleet and communicate across space. Marcus patrolled the perimeter, ensuring no other threats approached. Eli stood on a hill looking at the horizon. The ruins of his ancestors' planet stretched out before him, silent but full of potential. Humanity was far from home, banished to the stars, but they were not defeated. They had found a new beginning and they would fight for it. "We have a chance," Eli said softly. "We will use it. Humanity will not vanish. We will survive. We will grow. The Council can try to erase us, but we will endure. And one day we will show them that humans belong among the stars." The crew gathered around him, tired but determined. They had survived exile and danger, and now they had hope. The planet, the ruins, and the ancient technology were their new home for the moment. The future was uncertain, but it was theirs to shape. As night fell on the gray planet, the Aurora Dawn and the fleet rested. The stars above seemed brighter, as if welcoming the humans back. The hum of the ancient machines continued, a steady heartbeat of the past and a promise for the future. Humanity's journey into the dark frontier had only just begun, but they had learned an important truth. No matter how far they were banished, humans could adapt, survive, and fight for their place in the universe. And deep in the ruins, the ancient machines pulsed with life. Recognizing the returning children, humanity was home in a way they had never imagined, and their story was far from over. Part 3. The Council's Shadow. After the first encounter with the Valari, Eli Grant knew the danger was far from over. The crew of the Aurora Dawn worked tirelessly to repair their ships and study the ancient planet's technology. Every day brought new discoveries, but also the constant worry that the Council would return with greater force. Eli called a meeting in the command room. Nora Blake, Dr. Leah Ortiz, and Marcus Hale gathered around a holographic table. The map of the surrounding star systems glowed softly. "They will come back," Eli said, his green eyes serious. "And when they do, we need to be ready. We cannot let them erase humanity from the galaxy." Nora nodded, fingers resting on the console. "We can use the planet's technology. The materials we found can strengthen the ships. If we modify the energy cores, we can power more weapons and shields than before." Leah tapped her tablet. "I have been studying the ancient archives. They left more than technology. There are records of fleets and defense systems. We can learn from their designs. Humans once survived here, and we can do it again." Marcus leaned back. "But they are still faster and stronger than us. Their ships are built for war. We can't match them in direct combat." Eli nodded. "We won't. We will fight smart. We will use strategy, not brute force. If we understand the technology, the terrain, and their patterns, we can hold them off. We have to make the Council respect us even if they never like us." For weeks, the crew worked. Nora reinforced the Aurora Dawn with a strange lightweight material, adding energy shields and improved engines. Leah studied the control systems of the ancient machines, learning to connect them to their ship's computers. Marcus ran simulations, practicing maneuvers that would give them an advantage in battle. Eli coordinated every plan, preparing the crew for whatever might come. One day, Leah discovered something unusual in the archives. A series of coordinates pointed to a distant system beyond the known galaxy. At the center was a large planet abandoned long ago. According to the records, it contained a universal beacon. Eli frowned. "A beacon? What kind of beacon?" Leah explained. "It is designed to contact any human-descended race, no matter how far they are. It can transmit signals across vast distances, even beyond Council-controlled space. If we activate it, we might reach other humans, ones we thought were lost. Eli's eyes lit up. Then that is what we must do. We are not alone. Humanity may have hidden survivors, and this beacon could bring them together. It could be the key to rebuilding our people. Nora added, but it won't be easy. The coordinates are in a system far from here, and the journey is dangerous. There may be unknown hazards, and we will have to move fast before the Council finds us again. Eli nodded. We have no choice. Prepare a mission. Leah, Marcus, and I will lead a team to activate the beacon. Nora will stay with the fleet to maintain our base. We cannot risk losing the only person who can keep our ships operational. The team prepared for the journey. The Aurora Dawn was loaded with supplies, tools, and weapons. The other ships in the fleet followed at a safe distance. Eli felt a mix of excitement and fear. The mission was critical, and failure was not an option. As they left the planet, sensors detected a Valari vessel approaching. Eli's heart tightened. The enemy had returned, and they were not alone. A fleet of Council ships moved through space, weapons ready, scanning for human activity. They are faster than us, Marcus said, fingers flying over the controls. We can't outrun them in straight space, Eli thought quickly. We will use the nebulae. The sensors will be disrupted, and we can hide our movements. Follow my lead. The Aurora Dawn weaved through asteroid fields and dense clouds of cosmic dust. The fleet followed carefully. The Valari ships fired weapons blindly, some hitting asteroids instead of the humans. The strategy worked. The humans moved undetected, reaching the system of the beacon without major damage. The planet housing the beacon was dark and quiet. Ancient structures rose from its surface, surrounded by craters and jagged cliffs. The beacon itself stood at the center of a large plateau, its shape unlike anything Eli had seen before. It was tall and elegant, with panels glowing faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. Eli led the team onto the surface. Marcus scanned the area for defenses while Leah approached the beacon, her hands on the control panel. Symbols lit up as she connected the Aurora Dawn systems to the ancient device. This is incredible, Leah whispered. The technology is alive. It senses us. It is ready to transmit. Eli glanced at the horizon. Dark shapes appeared in the sky. More Valari ships faster than before. They had tracked the humans and were now closing in for an attack. We have limited time, Eli said. Leah, activate the beacon now. Marcus, cover her. I'll handle the rest. The team worked quickly. Energy pulsed from the beacon as Leah initiated the sequence. Light spread across the plateau, forming patterns and signals that reached into space. The beacon was awake, sending a message that humans were here, alive and waiting. The Valari ships opened fire, beams of energy cutting through the air. Marcus piloted drones to intercept, while Eli coordinated defenses using the terrain and energy barriers to protect the team. The battle was intense. The humans were outnumbered, but their courage and clever tactics kept them alive. Nora's voice crackled over the communicator. Eli, the fleet is ready. We can provide support, but you need to hold the position until the beacon finishes transmitting. Eli nodded. Do it, keep them busy. We are almost there. Leah's fingers flew over the ancient controls. The beacon pulsed faster and a hum filled the air. Finally, a wave of energy shot into space, spreading across the galaxy. The signal carried a message of hope, calling out to any surviving humans scattered across the stars. Eli watched the sky, feeling a surge of hope. If the signal reached even a few survivors, humanity could unite again. The Council might have banished them, but humans would not vanish. They would find each other, rebuild, and grow stronger. The Valari ships, confused and disrupted by the beacon's energy, began retreating. Their sensors were scrambled, and their formation broke apart. Eli knew this was only temporary. The Council would not give up easily, but for now humanity had won a small victory. We did it, Leah said, smiling despite exhaustion. The beacon is active. Others will hear us. Eli placed a hand on her shoulder. This is just the beginning. Soon humans will come from the shadows, from beyond the Council's reach. We will have allies, friends, and a chance to reclaim our place among the stars. Marcus looked at the retreating Valari ships. They will be back. Stronger next time, Eli nodded. And we will be ready. We have hope, courage, and each other. That is more than they have ever faced. As the team returned to the Aurora Dawn, the planet beneath them seemed less lonely. The beacon's light continued to pulse, sending a quiet promise into the galaxy. Humanity was scattered, exiled, but they were not defeated. They had found a way to reach out, to call home. Eli stood on the bridge of the Aurora Dawn looking at the stars. "We have taken the first step," he said quietly. "The Council may try to destroy us, but humans survive. We endure, we fight, we adapt. One day we will show them that we belong here, among the stars." The fleet moved onward, carrying hope, courage, and the promise of reunion. Humanity's journey was far from over, but for the first time in a long time, Eli felt a spark of certainty. They were not alone. And no matter how dark the frontier, humans would always find a way to shine. The shadow of the Council loomed, but humanity had a light that could not be dimmed. And with that light, they would face whatever came next together. Part 4. A spark of hope. Years passed on the gray planet the humans called New Horizon. The ruins had been transformed into a thriving settlement. Shelters built from ancient materials and the remains of old ships dotted the landscape. Gardens grew in domed greenhouses, and children ran through open streets, their laughter carrying across the plateau. Humanity was rebuilding, far from the Council's control, but always aware of the danger that lingered in the stars. Eli Grant, still the fleet commander, walked through the main plaza. Nora Blake supervised repairs on the Aurora Dawn, her hands always busy with tools and metal. Dr. Leah Ortiz worked in a laboratory, studying the ancient machines and improving their technology. Marcus Hale trained new pilots, teaching them how to maneuver ships through asteroids and nebulae. Together they had built more than a home. They had built a small human civilization. Despite their progress, the Council had not forgotten them. Scouts reported alien vessels moving near the edge of known space. Whispers spread that a large fleet was gathering, planning to destroy humanity completely. Eli gathered his senior crew in the command room. "We have to be ready," he said, pointing at the map of nearby systems. "The Council may strike at any time. They fear our survival. They fear what we are becoming." Nora tapped on her console. "We can expand our fleet. The ancient materials can be used to build stronger ships, faster ships, even better than before. If we prepare carefully, we can defend ourselves," Leah added. "And we are not alone. The beacon we activated has reached other human colonies. Some survivors are returning. They will join us soon." Eli smiled faintly. Hope was spreading across the stars. Humanity, thought to be exiled and weak, was beginning to unite again. But he knew that hope alone would not win a war. Preparation and strategy were key. Weeks later, scouts reported unusual energy readings from a distant system. The coordinates matched some of the ancient maps Leah had discovered years ago. Eli decided to lead a small team to investigate. Nora stayed behind to maintain the base, while Eli, Leah, and Marcus prepared to explore the system. "We may find allies or danger," Eli said as they boarded the Aurora Dawn. "Either way, we have to be ready for anything." The journey through deep space was long and tense. The stars seemed colder here, more distant. Marcus piloted the ship through asteroid fields and gravity wells, careful to avoid detection by any Council patrols. Leah analyzed the data from the ancient maps, her eyes scanning for signs of energy or life. Finally, they reached the system. At its center was a planet larger than Earth, its surface covered in metal structures that reflected the dim light of a dying sun. At first glance, it appeared abandoned, but the sensors showed activity beneath the surface. "There are people here," Leah said, astonished. "Or something alive. Technology, at least. And it matches human designs from thousands of years ago." Eli landed the Aurora Dawn on a plateau near the largest structure. Vines and dust covered the walls, but they could see symbols similar to those on New Horizon. The building had doors large enough to fit a small ship. Eli led the team inside carefully. "Weapons ready?" The chamber was massive, filled with machinery that pulsed softly with energy. Holographic images flickered in the air, showing humans working, children playing, and ships flying through space. It was a record of the ancient settlers who had once called this place home. "They were advanced," Leah whispered. "They could travel far, colonize planets, and communicate across light years. We can learn so much from them." Eli walked among the machines, feeling a connection to the humans who had lived here long before. "This is our history," he said. "Our ancestors left this as a gift. They wanted us to survive, even if they could not." Marcus scanned the perimeter, his senses alert. Suddenly, alarms blared. Sensors detected a fleet entering the system. Eli's stomach tightened. It was the Council, and they were coming in force. "We need to act fast," Eli said. "Leah, can we use their systems against the Council?" Leah nodded. "If we tap into the planetary defenses and combine them with our ships, we can create a barrier. It won't stop everything, but it can hold them off long enough to escape or counterattack. Eli turned to Marcus. Get the fleet ready. Warn New Horizon. They must prepare for a possible attack. The Aurora Dawn transmitted messages to the main settlement. The ships at New Horizon began mobilizing, shields activating and weapons loading. The humans were ready to defend their new home. As the Council fleet approached, Eli, Leah, and Marcus activated the ancient systems. Walls of energy shot up around the planet, shimmering and bright. Ships moved through the barriers hidden from enemy sensors. Drones powered by ancient cores patrolled the skies, ready to intercept any attackers. The first Council ships arrived, weapons firing blindly. Beams struck the energy barriers, but the shields held. Eli's fleet launched counterattacks using clever tactics learned from years of survival. Marcus piloted drones to intercept fire, while Leah manipulated the ancient systems to confuse enemy sensors. The battle was fierce. The Council had strength, but humanity had courage and intelligence. For every attack, humans found a way to adapt. For every obstacle, they discovered a solution. The planet itself seemed to join them, its machines awakening to protect the returning children. Hours passed. The Council fleet began to retreat, confused and unable to predict the humans' tactics. Eli knew this was only temporary, but it gave them time to strengthen New Horizon and prepare for the future. After the battle, Eli gathered the crew. This is a spark of hope, he said. We have survived another attack. We have proven that humans can endure, adapt, and fight. The Council may think they can destroy us, but they are wrong. We are not weak. We are human, and we will continue to grow. Leah looked at him. The beacon worked. Other humans are returning. Soon we will have more allies, more strength, and more hope. The Council cannot erase us. Nora joined them, wiping sweat and grime from her face. Our technology is improving. The ancient machines are teaching us things we never knew. We can build faster ships, stronger defenses, and better weapons. Humanity is becoming something more than we were before. Eli smiled faintly, and we will use it wisely. We fight not to conquer, but to survive, to protect each other, to show that humanity deserves a place among the stars. The children of New Horizon played under the glow of the twin suns, unaware of the dangers beyond their sky, yet they were the reason humanity fought. They were the future, and they were proof that survival was possible even after centuries of exile. As night fell, the Aurora Dawn hovered above the planet, its engines humming softly. Eli looked at the stars, thinking of the Council, the unknown dangers and the humans returning from distant worlds. The spark of hope was growing, and humanity's light would not be extinguished. The ancient machines continued their quiet work, repairing, building, and teaching. Humanity was learning from the past, preparing for the future, and somewhere deep in space the beacon continued to shine, calling out to any who had survived, promising reunion and strength. Eli knew the Council would not give up. More challenges were coming, more battles, more tests. But for the first time in a long time, he felt certainty. Humanity was ready. They had hope, courage, intelligence, and each other, and that was more than enough to face the darkness ahead. New Horizon was alive, humanity was alive, and the spark of hope would grow into a flame that no Council, no fleet, and no enemy could ever destroy. The journey was far from over, but humans had found their place among the stars, and with every passing day their strength and unity grew, preparing them for the ultimate challenge that lay ahead. Part 5, Go Home. The sun rose over New Horizon, casting golden light on the settlements and the ships preparing for battle. Eli Grant stood on the command platform looking out at the fleet. Hundreds of humans had arrived from distant colonies answering the beacon's call. Children, engineers, pilots, and soldiers filled the planet. Humanity had grown stronger than ever before. But Eli knew the Council would not give up easily. Reports came in of a massive fleet moving through nearby systems, faster and larger than any they had faced before. The Council wanted to erase humanity completely, fearing their return. Eli called a meeting with Nora, Leah, and Marcus. This is it, Eli said, his voice steady. They want total destruction. We cannot let them win. We will fight, but we will also offer peace. We are human, and humans fight to survive, not to conquer. We must show them that. Nora studied the fleet designs. Our ships are ready. The ancient technology gives us an advantage. We can hold them off, maybe even win. Leah added, we have more than technology. We have hope, courage, and humans returning from across the stars. They cannot ignore that. It is our strength. Marcus clenched his fists. Then let's show them. We fight not just for survival, but for our right to live in the stars. Eli nodded. Prepare the fleet. Everyone must be ready. This will be our final confrontation. We win or we survive together. As the Council fleet entered orbit, the sky above New Horizon filled with ships. The Council's forces were massive, armed with the latest weapons and shields. Their commanders expected fear, but what they saw instead were humans standing tall, ready to fight. Eli led the Aurora Dawn into formation, flanked by the strongest human ships. Nora monitored energy flows. Leah coordinated ancient systems with modern weapons, and Marcus piloted drones to intercept enemy attacks. The humans had learned from every battle, every challenge, every exile. They were ready. The Council commander, Admiral Zyrak of the Valari, called out through the communicator. Humans, surrender now. You are exiles. You have no right to exist. Leave or be destroyed. Eli stepped forward, his voice firm. We do not surrender. We are humans. We have survived your councils, your exiles, and your fleets. We fight to live, to protect our people, and to show that humans belong among the stars. We offer peace, but we will defend ourselves. Zyrak paused, silent for a moment, then barked orders to attack. Energy beams and missiles streaked across space. The humans responded with strategy and precision. Ancient shields pulsed, absorbing attacks. Drones intercepted enemy fire, while human pilots used clever maneuvers to strike weak points in the Council fleet. Nora shouted over the comms. Energy overload in 3, 2, 1. A pulse of power surged from the Aurora Dawn, temporarily disabling several Council ships. Leah tapped controls on the ancient machines, confusing sensors and communication systems across the enemy formation. Marcus piloted drones to protect vulnerable ships, guiding them through asteroids and nebulae for cover. The battle was intense. Explosions lit the sky. Ships maneuvered and collided. Energy shields flared and alarms rang. But humanity held its ground. Their courage, ingenuity, and unity surprised the Council. For every ship lost, humans adapted and fought back. Every obstacle became an advantage. Hours passed. Slowly, the Council fleet began to falter. They underestimated humans' ability to endure, adapt, and fight. Zyrak realized that victory was slipping away. He called a halt to the attack, unsure of how to continue. Eli signaled his crew. We hold. We give them a chance to see our strength and mercy. Humanity does not destroy without reason. Nora breathed heavily. They won't give up easily. What if they attack again? Eli shook his head. Then we will be ready. But for now, they see that humans are not weak. They see that we are not their enemies. We fight to survive, not to conquer. Zyrak opened the communicator again. Humans, you have surprised us. Your strength, your unity. It is unlike anything we expected. We will retreat, but know this, the Council watches. Do not test us again. Eli nodded. We do not test. We survive, we live, and we hope that one day we can coexist in peace. The Council fleet departed, leaving humanity free to rebuild. Cheers rose across New Horizon. Humans had defended their home, their history, and their future. They had shown that even after exile, even when told to leave the stars, humans could endure. But the victory came at a cost. Many ships were damaged or destroyed. Some brave crew members had fallen. Nora worked tirelessly to repair engines and shields. Leah helped coordinate medical care and revived critical systems. Marcus trained new pilots to replace those lost in the battle. Eli honored the fallen, knowing that their sacrifice made survival possible. Days later, humans began receiving signals from the distant colonies. Survivors were returning, guided by the universal beacon. Families reunited. Children met parents they never knew, and communities grew stronger. The scattered humans of the galaxy were coming together for the first time in centuries. Eli stood on a hill overlooking the main settlement. The Aurora Dawn rested nearby, repaired and ready for future challenges. Children played under the light of twin suns, unaware of the battles fought to secure their lives. Humanity was alive, thriving, and united. Leah approached him. We did it, Captain. Humanity is stronger than ever. The Council can't erase us. We have a home wherever we choose to make it. Eli smiled. Home, it is more than a place. It is the people, the courage, and the hope we carry. We were told to go home, but now we choose our home. Among the stars, humans can be free. Marcus joined them. What now? The Council will be cautious, but they will return someday. Eli nodded. We prepare. We grow. We unite. And when the time comes, we face them with the same courage we always have. But for now, we live, we build. We go home wherever we choose. Nora came running, her hands full of tools. Captain, the children found a new garden patch. We can expand our food supplies. And the engineers have almost finished the new ship designs. Soon we can explore even further. Eli laughed, a light sound after so many years of tension. Then let's go home. Not to a single planet, but to the stars themselves. Humanity has no limits now. We will travel, explore, and thrive. We will never let anyone tell us we do not belong. That night, Eli stood on the highest hill of New Horizon, looking up at the stars. Fleets of human ships gleamed in the sky, ready for exploration. The beacon pulsed softly from its distant system, a reminder that humans were no longer alone. Their people, scattered across the galaxy, were returning. Their home was not one place, but all the places they chose to live, to fight, and to dream. Eli whispered to himself, a quiet promise to the universe. We are human. We survive. We endure. We fight. We go home. The wind carried his words across the settlements. Children laughed, elders smiled, and the Aurora Dawn rested, ready for whatever lay ahead. Humanity had faced exile, danger, and the Council's wrath. They had fought with courage, wit, and unity, and now humanity had reclaimed its place among the stars. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and wonders, but humans were ready. Wherever they went, whatever challenges they faced, they would endure. They were the returning children, the survivors, the explorers. They were humanity. And for the first time in centuries, humans were truly free. They were home.